For 800 years, the world government has been hiding its real king, some kind of parasite sitting on a throne that's supposed to be empty. But what if I told you the biggest secret in One Piece isn't a crazy weapon or a legendary island? What if it's a stolen body? A hero who was literally hijacked and forced to become the face of evil for centuries. This is an insane story of betrayal, stolen power, and a choice that has defined history. We know Queen Nefertari D made a blunder that scattered the Poneglyphs across the entire world. But the clues suggest this wasn't a mistake at all. It was a rebellion against a terrifying new enemy. This theory shows how the secrets of immortality were twisted, not to make a king, but to trap a hero, and how Queen Lily's rebellion was the first shot in a war for the truth itself. Alright, let's kick this off with what we actually know. 800 years ago, 20 kings from 20 kingdoms teamed up. They fought a gigantic war against an enemy we only know as the Ancient Kingdom, and they won. These 20 founders then created the world government, and their families moved up to the Holy Land of Marijois to live like literal gods, the celestial dragons. 19 of the founders put their swords around the empty throne to promise they were all equal, but one sword is missing. That sword belonged to Queen Nefertari Lily of Alabasta. She refused to become a celestial dragon and chose to go back home to her kingdom. And here's the first crazy piece of the puzzle. She never made it back. The official story is that she just vanished, and her younger brother had to take over the throne. For hundreds of years, that's all it was. A queen who made a weird choice and disappeared. Then, at the reverie, King Cobra goes to confront the 5 elders. And right there, the real king of the world, Imu, shows up. With just one word, he changes everything we thought we knew. He says her name. Lily. Then he accuses her of something insane. He says Lily made a blunder, a mistake that caused the Poneglyphs to be scattered all over the world. Imu even wonders if it was really a mistake or a plan. At that exact moment, King Cobra drops the last forbidden piece of info. The queen's full name was Nefertari D. Lily. And just like that, everything shatters. One of the founders of the world government was a D. Her disappearance wasn't just a mystery, it was the start of a massive cover-up. And her blunder was, to Imu, the one mistake that stopped the world government from completely wiping out the past. This isn't just about a lost queen. It's about the very first act of rebellion against the new world order. To understand how insane this gets, we need to talk about the most wanted and terrifying power in the One Piece world, the Ope Ope no Mi. You know it as Trafalgar Law's fruit, a power that lets him create a room and basically do surgery on anything inside it. The world government was willing to pay 5 billion berries for it, and that's because of its ultimate move, the perennial youth operation. This surgery makes another person young forever, but it costs the fruit user their own life. It's a one-time crazy sacrifice. A super popular theory is that Imu, one of the original 20 kings, used this surgery to become immortal. But there's a huge problem with that. If Imu has his own devil fruit, which we see him use to transform and attack Sabo, how could he also get a devil fruit surgery? You can't have two. So what if the surgery wasn't for Imu at all? This theory has a crazy idea. What if, during the War in the Void Century, an ally did the perennial youth surgery, not to make an immortal king, but to create the ultimate weapon against forgetting history? An immortal vessel. A body that would never age, designed to outlive any evil empire. But in doing that, they accidentally created the perfect prison, and the ultimate prize for a power that wants to possess people, not just rule them. This wasn't a power grab. It was a desperate move to preserve something that led to a terrifying theft. If you want to understand what Lily was thinking, You don't have to look back 800 years. You just have to look at her direct descendant, Princess Vivi. The Alabasta arc is literally the story of a princess who goes undercover to save her country from a secret civil war. She risked everything to sneak into the organization pulling the strings, Baroque Works, to find out who its leader, Mr. Zero, was, who we all know is Crocodile. Vivi, using the codename Miss Wednesday, pretended to be an enemy of her own country to expose the real enemy from the inside. This theory says Vivi's story is a direct copy of what Queen Lily did. Lily, a D-clan member, saw the 20 kingdoms coming together under a truly evil and parasitic leader, Imu. Realizing she couldn't win with force, she made a choice. She joined them. She became one of the 20 founders, playing the long game, just like Vivi did inside Baroque Works. Her goal was never to be part of their world. It was to destroy their ultimate goal from the inside. Her D initial was her secret identity, her true loyalty. She was Miss Wednesday, but on a global scale. She saw that Imu didn't just want to rule, he wanted to consume everything. And she knew the only way to fight a shadow like that was to become one herself. She got in, and she was about to pull off a move that they are still freaking out about 800 years later. This brings us back to Imu's throne room, and that one word, blunder. To Imu, a wannabe god who wants to control everything and erase the entire past, what Lily did was the single biggest screw-up in the history of the world government. But it wasn't a blunder, it was her checkmate. Just imagine it. The war is over. The ancient kingdom is gone. The 20 kingdoms are taking over and are ready to literally rewrite history. But they have one huge problem: the Poneglyphs. These giant, indestructible stone cubes, made by the Kozuki clan of Wano, hold the real history. You can't destroy them. So the smart move for the world government would be to collect them all, lock them away in the deepest basement in Marijois. And this is probably what they told Lily to do. And this is where she betrayed them. Instead of collecting the Poneglyphs, she scattered them. She sent these indestructible history books to the craziest corners of the world. One went deep into the ocean on Fishman Island, another to the closed-off land of Wano, and she made sure her own family in Alabasta would protect another one. This move was genius. It turned the Poneglyphs from a problem they could hide into a worldwide scavenger hunt for the truth, a mission for the will of D spread across the entire globe. She knew that as long as the Kozuki clan was around to read them, and as long as a D was out there to find them, history could never actually be erased. It was the ultimate rebellion, a blunder to a tyrant, but an absolute masterstroke for freedom. She turned history itself into a weapon, and after this ultimate betrayal, she vanished. So who was made immortal? For years, people have guessed it was Lily, but the truth is 1,000 times more insane, and it changes everything we know about the world's biggest bad guy. The person who got the perennial youth surgery wasn't a queen, but a king. A sun god, Joy Boy. This is the craziest part of the theory. Imu has a parasitic devil fruit, a terrifying power that lets them literally take over and control someone else's body. After the Great War, furious about Lily's betrayal and desperate to live forever, Imu didn't get the surgery. Imu hunted down the person who did. They found the defeated immortal Joy Boy and latched onto him, becoming a parasite in a stolen body. This one move explains so much, it's crazy. First, it solves the devil fruit problem. Imu, the parasite, is a devil fruit user. Joy Boy, the host body, is not. His body was just made forever young. This is how Imu can use his own shadow power while living inside an immortal body. Second, it explains why Zunesha listens to Imu. Why would Zunesha obey Imu's commands? Because Imu is controlling the body of its master, Joy Boy. It's an unbelievably cruel trick, using a body Zunesha trusts to command an old, loyal friend. Third, it explains Imu's shadow. Imu's skinny shape, which looks so much like Luffy's, could actually be Joy Boy's own body, just twisted and hidden in the dark. The face Imu is hiding isn't his own. It's the face of the world's first liberator, now being worn as a mask by the world's biggest tyrant. If Imu is a parasite feeding off a stolen life, then what about the five elders? They've lived for centuries without aging, which makes no sense. The answer is a terrifying contract. They are parasites too. The theory is that Imu's power isn't just about taking over a body, it's about draining and sharing life force. The life that Imu steals from the immortal Joy Boy is then shared, just a little bit, with his most loyal followers. The elders aren't really immortal, they're on life support, kept alive by a constant drip of stolen life. Their long lives are a gift from their master, and it only continues if they stay completely loyal. This changes the world government from a group of rulers into a demonic cult. Imu is the dark god at the center, feeding on the soul of a hero who fell. The five elders are his undying followers, and their lives literally depend on the life force Imu stole. This makes their loyalty absolute, and explains why they'll do anything to stay in control. Their own lives are on the line. Okay, let's put all the insane pieces together. The real ruler of the world, Imu, is a parasite. Using a demonic devil fruit, Imu possessed the body of the legend himself, Joy Boy, who was made immortal during the Void Century. This unbelievable act of theft let Imu hijack Joy Boy's eternal life, and even his command over the ancient elephant Zunesha. For 800 years, the world's greatest enemy has been ruling from inside the body of its greatest hero. Queen Nefertari D. Lily saw this evil plan coming together and did something about it. She went undercover with the 20 kingdoms and, in a legendary move of rebellion, scattered the Poneglyphs, making sure the real history could never be completely lost. They tried to stop her, but her plan, a global scavenger hunt for the truth, survived, just waiting for someone to finish the puzzle she started. Which brings us to now, to Luffy, who has inherited Joy Boy's will and the power of Nika. The final war isn't just about taking down a corrupt government, it's about freeing the world's stolen history. It might even be about freeing Joy Boy's soul from the prison it's been in for 800 years. And it leaves us with one last mind-blowing question. Is the final battle going to be a fight between Luffy, who is the spirit of Joy Boy, and a demon parasite controlling Joy Boy's actual body? Can Luffy free the man whose dream he carries and finally bring the dawn to the world?